There is Aditya Fauzi in the technical control area. The top finishers all have to go through technical control. Technical regulations are hugely important to ensure fair play in all championships, and they're particularly vigilant in this championship. A really well-drilled technical control team. You're looking at the back of Pirapong there. So we're going to take, while we wait for Daniel to catch up with someone, we're going to take a quick break. So stay with us. You are watching qualifying for round 1 of the IDEMITSU FIM Asia Road Racing Championship.
So we're down here apart from me with fastest from qualifying, Aditya Fauzi. So Aditya, you were fastest out there, you were looking good. How was it in qualifying?
Di kualifikasi tadi saya tidak banyak strategi karena di waktu yang sangat mepet 10 menit saya sangat memaksimalkan semua yang ada, memaksimalkan waktu yang ada juga.
So the translation of that is that he didn't really have a strategy, just went the max that he could and managed to get fastest in qualifying. Thank you so much, Aditya. Good luck for Super Bowl and race later.
Welcome back to all our friends and followers of ARRC. We're here at Chang International, and we're happy to be joined by you guys on YouTube, Facebook, and also on video.com in Indonesia. We've got plenty of action we're bringing you this morning. You can see on track and you can hear the rumble of those single piston 310cc engines on the TVS Asia one-make machines. This is qualifying 1A. So the riders on track are the 9 slower riders, if you like, from yesterday's combined free practice times. And there are some surprising names here, including project leader Warapong Malahuan, who didn't quite make the cut for qualifying 1B. There are some number changes this year, but number 3 is Warapong. In fact, the numbers for the riders who competed last year reflect their championship finishing positions. There's one rider already down. Hopefully he's all right. That was Kim Min-jae. So that's his second crash of the weekend. So unfortunate for the young Korean. We're excited to see him coming into this championship. Actually, in his honor, I put a Korean song on my Instagram story this morning, so I'm sorry to see that didn't bring him any luck. There on your screen, number 11 is Ati Kangger, a young Thai rider coming into this class, and looked very promising yesterday. Didn't quite make the cut, but neither did the man with the Dayglow green helmet, number 3, Warapong Malahuan, the champion in the inaugural year, which was 2022. He brought in a lot of new, young and experienced riders in 2023 and made the job a lot harder for himself. He ended up finishing 3rd in the championship. But actually that reflects the integrity of Warapong. All those who know him will know what I'm talking about. But his main KPI has been to develop these bikes, develop this championship as a path for riders from all over Asia to come through. And indeed, we've even stretched beyond Asia this time, which we'll be talking about as soon as we see right rider on the screen. But there is Thai rider Ati. He's put in an early quick time. Warapong looks like he's on a move. No, not on this lap. Something went wrong in sector 1. There is the defending champion we just caught a glimpse of, waiting for qualifying 1B. That is Muzakir Mohammed, the very fast, very popular winner of the 2023 champion. And just another look there at Ramdan Rosley, also waiting for qualifying 2, and keeping an eye out here to see who will be going through to join them in that session. Top 2 riders currently are Ati and Warapong, the 2 Thais. Also out there with them is KY Ahmed, who was the best finishing Indian rider in the standings. Fellow Indian Chirant Vishwanath just behind him. That's Casey Edward Clammer, new rider into this series. And it's good to see a rider from the Philippines coming into TVS Asia one make. We've got a lot of them in, a lot of Filipinos in Underbones and in 250s this season too. So Casey, that last lap was a 152.4. Best times yesterday were in the 149s. Those are from riders that we will see in qualifying 1B. There's just under 4 minutes remaining in this 10-minute qualifying 1A. And take a look at the rider right in the middle of your screen now, number 15. That's Rocco Sessler. the German rider who's emerged as one of the rising stars in some of the European championships, GP-related championships. See number 15 with a black helmet, and very helpfully the German flag right on the front of it. Rocco has just moved into P2, so provisionally he will go through together with Ati Kanger. And looking at who might upset that order, Warapong would be a good bet, because he was very fast through Sector 1 this time. Sector 2 wasn't so good. So Warapong being perhaps slightly held up here. He's got Sessler just ahead of him, but a big group in front of them. So this might not be a fast lap for any of these riders. Rocco also perhaps slowing up. He was quite quick through Sector 2. Also on a quick lap is KY Ahmed. He's somewhere in Sector 3 right now. So look out for the number 6 machine. There he is. KY Ahmed moves into P2. Ati Kanger remains at the top. Rocco Sessler gets bumped down into P3. Warapong currently in P4. Got time for another lap. And if they're lucky, they might just scrape through before the checkered flag comes out to do 2 more flying laps. Let's see how this goes. Rocco Sessler moves to the front of this group as they go into turn 3. He's got Warapong behind him. Warapong gets out of shape towards the exit there and allows the bike behind him to catch up. That was Ati Kanger, no less. So 2 ties running together there. Ati slipstreaming behind Warapong, stays behind him as they tip into turn 4. This is a quick group. Chirant Vishwanath also in this group. Warapong was the fastest through Sector 1 there, but Ati and Rocco were also quick. That's Rocco and Warapong at the front. So the question is, will they help each other to faster lap time, or will they get in each other's way? And another question is, will they get to the finish line before the checkered flag comes out, because it's going to be very tight. I think they will. So Warapong leads this group in. Number 11, Ati is behind him. Rocco Sessler is behind them. That was another good lap from Ati. KY Ahmed remains second. So no change in the order then. Warapong remains third. And that is Warapong, followed by his young compatriot, Ati Kanger. Rocco Sessler just behind them, but he's getting mugged on the inside as they go into the loop. That is turn 3. He comes out fourth. It was Chirant who got ahead of Sessler going through turn 3 there. Sector times, nothing much to talk about through Sector 1 this time around. They are on their last flying lap. Warapong could do with a fast lap because he's not going to make the cut for qualifying 1B. He doesn't have a good one this time around. Well, he's at the front and Rocco's on the move. There's Sector 2 yet, and a decent Sector 1. So it's good to see a European rider into this championship, especially one that comes with the credentials that Rocco Sessler comes with. Now he's making a nice charge up the inside. This is his first visit to Chang International. It seems like he's got some tactical ideas of how to go through turn 12. There he goes, going wide there was Chirant Vishwanath. Oh, and Rocco Sessler goes to P1 with a 150.687. He knocks Ati down to second, but they make the cut. I think there's no other surprises coming. So Rocco Sessler, the German, on his first visit, tops qualifying 1A, and we'll see him again very soon in qualifying 1B for TVS. Daniel joined me a couple of moments ago. I just gave him a chance to get his breath back. But what did you make of that, Daniel?
Yeah, I think that was very well played by Rocco. He just followed behind, played the last lap tactic to perfection, and it's amazing thinking of that kind of maturity from such a young rider.
Yeah, it was, and there are the results. It was a 150.687 that took Rocco to the top of the timing screen. Ati Kanger, promising young Thai rider, he was second with a 150.994. Third was KY Ahmed. Fourth was Chirant Vishwanath, so Indian riders in 3 and 4. Fifth, Warapong, project leader. Sixth, Casey Edward Clammer, he was making improvements all the way as well. Jagan Kumar 7th. 8th, Irvin Eksang, the Singaporean rider, did a 153.442. And unfortunately, there was a crash early in the session for Kim Min Jae. So no time recorded for the young Korean. We hope for him for better things in the race this afternoon. So let's just take another look at what happened in that session. All the riders got away quickly, no hanging around, straight down to business for this qualifying 1A session. There was the early crash there for Kim Min Jae. No damage to the young Korean, we understand, which is the most important thing. Warapong looked like he was pushing quite hard through this session, but Ati Kanger, the younger Thai, younger of the two Thais in this championship, was at or near the top all the way through, as the riders who are going straight through to qualifying 1B looked on in the pit. Just caught a glimpse there of Ramdan Rosley. Casey Edward Clammer, this was a good showing from him on his first outing in TVS and at Chang International. And there was Rocco Sessler, number 15, easy to pick out. He was running there with KY Ahmed, who had a decent run around. Warapong getting mugged there on the entry to turn 12. And with a couple of minutes remaining, and therefore another two flying laps. They take turn 12 and into a new lap. And at this point, Warapong was ahead on the track of Rocco Sessler, and we saw some fast sector times coming in. And we thought perhaps that Warapong would put himself up into contention for qualifying 1B, but it wasn't to be. He lost time elsewhere on the circuit. He was being chased at this point by Ati, promising rider who we're looking forward to seeing what he can do in qualifying 2, and lurking behind them is the young German Rocco Sessler. And this was an interesting move he made into turn 12. It looked like a race rehearsal, and on that last lap he would score the 150.687 that takes him into qualifying 2 together with Ati Kanger. We're going to go for a short break now, and when we come back it will be qualifying 1B for TVS Asia 1 make. So stay with us and we will see you back here at Chang International in just a few moments.
IDEMITSU IRG5. Start like a rocket and ship like silk with Superbike proven nano-tailored oil. Ultra Protective Quintec guard technology distills the wisdom of oil experts. 5 protective benefits in harmony unleash the peak performance of your engine. Nano Silky Tech ensures extra smooth upshifting at high RPM. Rocket starts, silky shifts. IDEMITSU IRG5.
Welcome back. We are rumbling once again with the TVS Asia 1 make. This is qualifying 1B, and this session will sort out the first 8 grid positions for this afternoon's race, which is scheduled for 12:35, just under 4 hours from now. And these are the fastest riders from yesterday's qualifying, plus Rocco Sessler and Ati Kangye, who just came through from qualifying 1A. Another 10-minute session, but a leisurely outlap it seems. Lap times we saw yesterday, the best lap times were in the 1:49s from Hiroki Ono, which is perhaps not such a surprise, but also from Sartak Chavan, the exciting young Indian rider who we caught a glimpse of here back in December in the closing race of 2023. But he was really on it yesterday, and it was a good battle between the veteran Hiroki Ono and the up-and-coming Sartak, which is really what this championship has been all about from the start, a mix of senior riders and young up-and-coming stars. What did you take away from yesterday, Daniel?
Yeah, yesterday, I mean, as you mentioned, it's you worded it perfectly. It's a mix of some really, talented, skilled riders who we've known for years, and a few young bloods who have been super impressive. I mean, look at Rocco from the qualifying 1A. Out of nowhere, he pulled in a great lap. And we even have Richie Takahira. He's a young Japanese rider on the rise. For those who follow ATC, you guys will have seen him there. He's been impressive. He's here now. And yeah, Sartak Chavan, I mean, we expect big things from the young Indian. And of course, Hiroki Ono. Despite a crash in free practice, he still managed the fastest lap.
Yeah, and carrying the #1 plate there is, let's not forget about Muzakir Mohammed, who took the title last season. He looked very cool, calm and collected as a cucumber on that outlap, but he'll have something to say in this session. But he looks confident as well.
It's a different Muzakir. I mean, I've seen Muzakir for many years now, and saw him at the paddock just now before I interviewed Sartak, and he just looks so calm and happy, and that's great because Muzakir, he's one of those riders who's always had the talent, but didn't have the best of luck. He would have half a good season and half a bad one, but last year for him was just beautiful, and it's great to see riders like him finally performing to the best. So I think this year will be a really good one for Muzakir.
Yeah, absolutely. He's got his compatriot Ramdan Rosley, who's running with the #4 plate this year. There is Hiroki Ono, #2, by virtue of the fact that he finished second in the championship after missing the first two. Well, he didn't appear in the first 2 rounds. We first saw him in round 4, so that gave him 4 rounds, 8 starts, 7 wins, 1 DNF. And yesterday wasn't completely plain sailing for him, was it? He had a crash in the first practice session of 2. But he came through as we expected him to in free practice 2, with timesheet topping 1:49.5 to go fastest, just over a tenth quicker than Sartak. And Rishi Takahira is a rider that you're fancying for great things in this class, Daniel.
Oh yeah, I mean he's an all-out performer. He's gotten a podium recently as well in the ATC championship. So he's definitely a young talent for Japan. I think he will be very popular. He looks very positive every time he's around. I think in the way he races, he's really good. And already on the first flying lap, he's done a 1:51.0. And yeah, I think the confidence for Richie is there.
Yeah, he looks really good. He did the fastest first flying lap for this session. We haven't seen any really good lap times yet. Ati, who was quick in qualifying 1A. He was fastest in this session so far through sector 1. Ramdan Rosley, the #4 there, definitely one to watch. He had a bad run of luck last season, the number 4 disguised his potential somewhat. 4th place finish.
Yeah, I love seeing the dedication from Ramdan. The fact that he lost extra weight just to, I mean, he was already quite lean with last year, so I can't imagine where else he lost some extra few kilos.
Yeah, I was thinking that during your interview with him. It's like, wow, okay. Where did you find that? Maybe he had a few ribs removed or something.
No, but it's great to see that you can see how much the level of this category really has been increased. And Sartak and Ramdan, there we go, 1 minute 50.1.
Yeah, briefly at the top, and now Hiroki Ono, he's not hanging around in this session with less than 3 minutes remaining. He's jumped to the top with a 150.098, so knocking on the door once again of the 149s. Ramdan second. Who was that shaking his head as he went through?
You see that, but Ono had no slipstream on that lap just now, so 1 minute 50.0.
Yeah, and there he goes again. He's not backing off.
Yeah, they just have this lap and another one should they choose to use it. Ono's trying to hunt down Ramdan in front of him.
Yeah, looks like Rocco's on a decent lap, and Riichi.
There's Riichi there, just some hand gestures towards Sartak. Not sure exactly what happened there. They're both racing in different championships together as well, so they should know each other well.
Well, in this kind of qualifying session, cooperation is going to get you more than getting into a scrap.
Rocco there going wide, so we've got 3 young, very interesting riders here. Sartak, Riichi and Rocco riding together. Behind them coming is Muzakir.
Yeah, Riichi and Sartak, the first of those 2 bikes through. And more hand gestures. I think that's a bit too late. So perhaps frustration there for Riichi Takahira.
Yeah, I think Riichi just didn't want Sartak towing along, but it's almost unavoidable in this kind of category. And it's Rocco just sitting at the back there, just eating it all up.
Yeah, well, he's...
Hiroki Ono, 148.3.
Well, okay, so forget about the 149s. He just leapfrogged that and straight into the 148s. So, yeah. I mean, he was looking really smooth as well when he started that lap. I thought, is he on a fast one or not? But, oh, well, there you are. Fastest sector 1, 2 and 3. And the fastest lap ever around this Chang International Circuit for TVS Asia 1, mate. Phenomenal from the Japanese. So at the moment, experience is winning with Hiroki Ono at the top. Ramdan second. Although provisional front row place for Sartak. There is Hiroki Ono. Is he finished?
I'm just wondering where he found an extra 2 seconds against the timing of Ramdan, for example.
Yeah, that's amazing. Absolutely phenomenal performance from Hiroki Ono. His best time yesterday was 149.5, so he's chopped 0.8 of a second off what his best time yesterday, which was the best time of the day. Top speed 207.7. So Riichi Takahira we just took a look at then, the number 10 going through, that is Sartak. Number 9, a promising young Indian. And Muzakir carrying the number 1 plate, shaping up. He will cross the finishing line as he comes out of turn 12 for the last time in this session. He's currently propping up this 8-rider field, and he hasn't improved. Last lap was a 152, best lap 151.3 for the defending champion. So he needs to find a little bit more speed this afternoon. And if he wants to compete with Hiroki Ono, he's going to have to find considerably more speed. As Hiroki, and I think that was Ramdan Rosley, went through at the bottom of your screen. So plenty going on in that session. We didn't even mention number 5, Dekitiano Aldi, who came through in 5th, as we will see right now. But let's take a look at that. Hiroki Ono once again at the top of the timing screen, this time with a best ever lap around Chang International Circuit for this class, 148.338. Next best, Ramdan Rosley, 1.8 seconds adrift in P2. P3, the exciting young Indian Sartak Shavand. 4th, Dekitiano Aldi. Good performance from the young Indonesian. Rocco Sessler, German newcomer to the class and to the circuit, was 5th. 6th, Reishi Takahira. 7th, Ati Kanger. 8th, Muzakir Mohammed. That determines the first 8 grid positions for race 1 this afternoon. And as Daniel heads out into pit lane to see who he can talk to, we might take a look at the recap depending on over to Daniel. Okay, so here is the recap. And Hiroki Ono made what we thought was a pretty fast start to this session. And indeed it was. There's 2 of the youngsters there. Number 10, Rishi Takahira, and Sartak Shavan running together, number 9 and 10. They featured throughout this session. Them was another exciting young rider, Rocco Sessler, in the class for the first time and at Chang International for the first time in his life, the young German. Number 1 circulating there, Muzakir Mohammed. Won't be delighted with that opening session. He's just alongside there with Ramdan Rosley, number 4. As they muscle their way through to complete a lap. At this point, it was Ramdan who was leading with a 150. Hiroki Ono just knocked him down, and there was a little bit of frustration there from Rishi Takahira, who didn't want Sartak to follow him, but that little argy-bargy cost both of them a decent lap time. There is Hiroki Ono, who had something special in store as he completely leapfrogged the 149s and went and did a 148.338. Absolutely incredible stuff from the Japanese veteran. That would take him to the top ahead of Ramdan Rosley, and Sartak Shavan will complete the front row for this afternoon's race 1. We are going to go to Daniel in pit lane very shortly. And when we come back, it will be with the AP 250 qualifying session, which is a straight 30-minute qualifying session. That will be coming up at 9:20 local time, 5 minutes from now. So we're going to take a short break while we wait for Daniel in pit lane. So stay with us. We've still got qualifying coming for AP 250s, 600s and 1000s, and the Super Pole shootout for the Underbone 150s. We're here at Chang International Circuit for round 1 of the IDEMITSU FIM Asia Road Racing Championship.
So we're down here at the TVS Asia 1-make paddock with Hiroki Ono. So Hiroki, you had a big crash yesterday, but you made an absolutely monster of a qualifying lap. How did you do it?
Yeah, yesterday I'm unlucky. Engine blew, then especially first corner, big crash. But I pain a lot. But yesterday night I recovered my physical. Then I try to push in qualifying. Yeah, I make a good lap time compared to last year. Yeah, I'm good to start for the season. So we will see race 1.
Thank you so much. Good luck. We look forward to seeing you this weekend.
That's a nice shot of pit lane. Welcome back, everyone, to Chang International Circuit. And of course, we are here for qualifying this morning, Saturday morning, for the Asia Production 250 class, AP 250s coming out onto the circuit. And as the riders come out onto the circuit, there is so much to say about this class, which has been providing fantastic entertainment for many years, and a lot of that has been due to dynamic tweaking and equalization of the technical regulations, and the geniuses behind all of that have done some fantastic work in the close season between 2023 and 2024, and we can see some real variety now. There are really three bikes of interest here. We've got the very well known and hitherto dominant CBR 250s, particularly with Astra Honda. We've also got the coming in new this year is the R3, and we've also got four-cylinder Kawasaki, so we can talk about them as we go, but different engine capacities, different configurations, 2 cylinders, 4 cylinders. What the technical wizards have done is to equalize the performance. So what you can see and what you will be seeing during this qualifying session is a variety of bikes running in the fastest positions. In qualifying 2 yesterday, we actually saw Yamaha, Honda, Kawasaki in that order in the first 3 finishes. So it's amazing that the technical regulations have been tweaked so accurately to ensure close competition between 3 manufacturers and a whole host of team and a whole host of nationalities. There on your screen from China is Shun Zhengjiang. He making his first trip to Chang International and cutting his teeth in the AP 250 class. He had a pretty good inaugural day yesterday, just finding his way around, putting in a lot of time and doing a really good job. He's one of 3 riders from mainland China in the AP 250 class. He's not hanging around with the naughty boys who are trundling around off track. He's getting straight into it. Shun yesterday had a best lap time of 156.5, which is pretty decent. He got within 5 seconds of the very fastest riders in this class at the first time of asking. And there was the fastest rider yesterday, number 36. Mohamed Ferozi, Torakatullah, running number 36. He's running there with his exciting prodigy of a teammate, young Arai Agaska, running number 38. Spent quite a lot of time running in formation yesterday, and it did them both well. Arai Agaska ended up with the best time of 152.7 compared to his teammates 151. Pretty much 151 dead. That was the fastest time in qualifying. Just behind them, they've got another prodigy, this time on a Honda, number 212. That's Kiandra Ramadeepa, just moving past them as they tip into turn 4. And the number 46 behind, just going past those 2 Yamahas, was the rider who finished second in the championship. A tight second in the championship to Reza Danica Arens last year, Herjan Atna Firdaus, who comes out again with a clear performance target from his team. And behind him is Sharifuddin, I beg his pardon, Sharifuddin Azman, who comes in from GPs, from Moto3 into this class for 2023. So great to have Yet another rider with international credentials coming into AP 250s. Just behind them is Nakarin Tumtimon, sorry. Irfan Haikal, number 41. He had a good day yesterday. He seems to have started the season very positively. He had a best time yesterday, 1:53. Gaska getting to grips with this conventional configuration of a motorcycle, of course, with the tank in the front. They're running together is Sharifuddin, Nakarin and Herjan Atner. Nakarin, the number 25, is a rider who came through the Honda Racing Thailand training school, or talent factory if you like. And the number 11 there is Kevin Quintal for Honda Racing India, just right alongside, who must be the championship favourite for AP 250s, Herjan Atner. Irfan Haikal looking a lot more aggressive than we saw him last season in this qualifying session. Running again for IDEMITSU FIM Honda, storied Malaysian team. You've taken more championships than you can shake a stick at. And let's just take a look. The green bike you can see there is the Kawasaki of Aiki Iyoshi. There are two of them running in Motul Sniper manual tech colours. And the fascinating thing about this, and the beautiful thing about this for nerds like the commentary team here at ARRC, is that this is the R25, which is a 4-cylinder screamer from Kawasaki. So if you listen carefully, the trackside microphones pick it up. Maybe a little bit difficult to hear above the rumble of the twins, but something to behold. And of course, different power delivery characteristics. So there's a lot to look forward to. This is a very different looking championship than it was last year. Lots of new riders coming in, and the equalization, the new bikes. This is really exciting. It was gripping stuff to watch how everything was settling down. As oh, and rider down there, that is the number 14 machine of Vreya Markasuba, the Filipino rider, in for pit spike, one-way JRT. He's hobbling a little bit, and the leathers are not as good as they were earlier today, but he's okay. And good to see pit spike, one-way JRT coming in. Not so good to see them going down. And there's another 3 crashes, including Nakarin and his teammate 117. Daniel's just joined me, so that's Pacharagon. They're trying to get their bikes back up together, and that is Kevin Quintal also down there.
It's concerning. It's a weird crash. That's come from way back. I think that was Kevin who went like a torpedo on the inside.
So perhaps coming in there too hot, but that looks pretty second hand. It won't be a good qualifying for Kevin Quintal. So it looked like an error there by the young Indian that caused that chaos at turn 5.
That started way back on right before the braking zone, but that's unfortunate.
Yeah, on the screen there, 51, 41, 51 is in for SDG. It's Alfonso Santos Daquan. Yeah, I think none of those bikes came off well. Very unfortunate for the 2 East NJT bikes.
Yeah, they were just passengers in that.
Yeah, and I was saying just before you came back in, Daniel, that Irfan Haikal looks as though he's found something else this season. It's early to say, of course, we know he's talented, but he looks a lot more aggressive on the bike.
Yes. One thing about Irfan is, of course, he's recovering from a broken leg. Still not 100% healed. He's still going to physio. So it's a great effort from Irfan. I mean, I remember like a couple years back when Irfan started popping up on the radar. He was that young, hungry kid. He was a kid with potential, and he was just unlucky with an injury. But I think Irfan this season will see some of the best we've seen of him.
Yeah, certainly hope so. Yeah, we were kind of willing him to do more than he ended up doing last season. But here's interesting tussle there. We've got the veteran for this class, you have to say, Aiki Oshi, on the number 37 green screamer that, if you listen carefully, you can hear right now, chasing Kiandra Ramadipa, one of the latest Astra Honda prodigies.
Kendra just went second there on that lap. 152.812 from Kendra.
Yeah, we haven't seen him too much on screen yet, but sitting at the top of the timing screens is Cao Vietnam, who had two brilliant sessions yesterday. FP1, he was second. He topped FP2. Didn't distinguish himself so well in FP3 as we just look at.
Looks like maybe potentially there was a gasket leak or something on Sharford and Osman's bike. Really working hard to clean it up.
Yeah, he got himself in the mix early, but clearly a problem there for the Malaysian star. So some of the youngsters in the class on your screen there: Irfan, Araigaska, and Kiandra. Lots of really exciting talent in this AP250 class this season. Barely mentioned Hergen, but he's sitting third at the moment. The equalization that the regulations have definitely been bringing about means that we're not seeing Astra Honda at the top. Well, they're currently in 2 and 3, but we are seeing the Yamahas and Kawasaki's on very much level terms. Number 19 coming in there is one of the Vietnamese, Ton Anh Bu. But there we ride with Araigaska and Irfan Haikal. Looking to see who's following. Well, Alfonsi, the number 51 for SDG, and the Chinese rider Shen Chengjiang, currently the quickest of the Chinese newcomers to this class. There's Cao Vietnam taking a break. Fastest lap 152.6 is the best so far in this session. And once again, Daniel, I see he got the fastest sector in sector 3. We saw him last year, and that is worth mentioning because that's where races are won and lost.
Yeah, he's really worked on his finishing in this Chang International Circuit, but even the style that he rides, there's this new aggression about Cao Vietnam. I mean, we've seen him before looking aggressive, but there's this composure that he has when he slides the bike through. It's really, he's brought it up to another step now.
Yeah, he has, and it's really good to see. He always was quick and smooth, but there's as you say, there's added confidence there. And once again, you know, for the third or fourth time this weekend, we're seeing him at the top of the timing screens. It's one of the Kawasaki's there, and Team One for All coming into this category is very welcome as well. Gao Ang, the Chinese rider, coming in for the team that we've gotten used to seeing performing very well in Underbones, now in AP250s. Arayagaska makes a stop at just over the halfway mark in this 30-minute qualifying session. We've seen split qualifying so far in Underbones and in the TVS Asia 1 make, but this is a straight 30-minute qualifying session. So we spend a little bit of time there with Alfonsi Rey Santos Daguigan, Filipino, riding for the storied Japanese team, SDG Hark Pro.
Arayagaska going back in now. Yamaha, of course, with the new Yamaha R3 for this championship. It's not a new bike, but for this championship, it is the first time that we're seeing the R3s.
Yeah, and I was saying as early in the session how impressively well the regulations have equalized the performance of the three different bikes, three very different bikes we've got here. And there's perhaps one of the most exciting. That's the Kawasaki. That's been ridden by Deandra, newcomer to the class. And without too many bikes on track at the moment, you can hear exactly what that little green screamer sounds like.
It's a beautiful sound, that.
Yeah, Daniel and I both did a double take when we were looking at the press release saying 4-cylinder R25. Really? Yes, really. It's here, and we've got a young rider on it making his way in his career, and we've got an experienced rider in the shape of Aiki Iyoshi with something to prove. Now, despite those two East NJT bikes taking a tumble, there's another three here. The first of those, 188, is Pioat Patumyos, and he's followed by Watcherin Tumtumon, number 25, and behind him I think that's, let's have a look, 27, that's Warwick Tongnopakun. And running together with them is the number 18, Nguyen Hu Tri.
There's Kiandra just looking up at the timing screens. I think he can be pretty happy with where he's found himself. Second place, Herjin, his teammate, in third. So Astra Honda still looking strong as ever. The only difference now is a very, very fast Cal Vietnam.
Yeah, who's been in the pits for a while now, so that's another sign of newfound confidence. Let's see if he converts that into imperiousness later in the season. But there is Watcherin leading this group. Watcherin currently 6th with a best lap of 1:53.9. Oh, and there on your screen, people have been asking, but there is Muklada Serapet. She's here as a rider coach for the 2/600 riders that Honda Racing Thailand have got this year. We do miss seeing her on a 250 though, don't we, Daniel?
Yeah, she was really a master of aggression in the 250 class.
Yeah, you just knew something was going to happen whenever she was on track. Absolutely brilliant rider. But people have to move on in their careers.
Now we have a bunch of riders coming out. Cal Vietnam getting ready. Ferozi and Arayagaska have come out of pit lane. I think we'll see Aiki Yoshi as well making way soon. Sharfuddin Azman, we saw his mechanics working hard on the engine cover. He's coming out now as well.
Yeah, nobody has got anywhere near the best times we saw in free practice yesterday, which were in the 151s. There's Watcherin and Warwick running together with Hutri just behind them. Hutri, best time yesterday was in the low 154s. And Deandra on the Kawasaki. And the fastest, I think, of the Thai riders is on, Chinese riders is on your screen. Then Shun Chengjian. Of course, we're welcoming more Chinese riders into this class, and we'll be excited to be going to their home race next month, in just a month from now, 4 weeks from now, we will be at Zhuhai for round 2 as we look at provisional pole sitter Cal Vietnam getting into his second stint with 8 minutes and 40 seconds remaining. Outlap for him. Very much taking his time, but he looks kind of cocky on the bike, doesn't he?
I think it's just that confidence that he resonates now.
Yeah.
It's different. It's a new rebirth.
Yeah, a little bit of swagger from the Vietnamese rider. And here's a rider not short of swagger, Sharifuddin Azman.
He's doing a bit too much slowing down though. Look at what we have here.
Yeah, just about fast enough not to fall over.
Yeah. So Sharifuddin Azman and Cal Vietnam, they have decided to get on with business. Sort of. Still looking behind.
Yeah, but what they really want is a fast exit from turn 12 so they can get onto a flyer, but no, they're coming in.
I think everyone's trying to follow Cal Vietnam, and Sharifuddin Azman did not get into pit lane, so he's stuck on track. But he might do good just following behind Ferozi then.
Yeah, agree. And I suspect that these riders coming in now are just going to ride through pit lane and come out hopefully with a bit of a clearer track. There is Sharifuddin, just making his way past Mohsin Paramban for Honda Racing India.
No, Sharifuddin actually is in a good train here. He's got Herjan Adnan right in front of him, so if he can latch himself behind the likes of Herjan and feed off Herjan's slipstream, that should do his lap time quite good.
Yeah, he'll want to get up close as they come into turn 3 if he possibly can. He's a little way back at the moment.
They're both using Honda CBR 250s, well, 3 of them at the back here, but definitely Astra Honda's setup has been proven. Boon Siu, they've been good, but they've just been a little short here and there. Can't understand what the difference is, but I think Astra Honda, they've just been dominant for years, so they have a formula that's just been working non-stop.
Yeah, but the equalization means that the likes of Sharifuddin, even though he's a newcomer, he's a fabulously talented newcomer. He was in the mid-152s yesterday.
Herjan's on a hot one. He's just eaten up, I think that was Arai, or yeah, I think there should have been Arai. And there was a gap between Herjan and Arai, and now fastest second sector from Herjan, and improvement as well through sector 1.
Yeah, this should be a hot finish to this qualifying session because they haven't come anywhere close.
He just blitzed past both the Yamahas, which were quite a distance ahead of him.
Yeah, Aragaska deciding to tuck himself behind them as they come through turn 12. 5.5 minutes remaining as they cross the finish line. Arai getting close to his compatriot.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, Honda versus Yamaha on the home straight.
Herjan just missed out. At sector 3, something happened that we didn't really see because he was on a really hot one.
Yep, and also looking at the color coding on the timing screens, 200 kilometers per hour through the speed trap for Herjan. There is Cal Vietnam, still sitting on provisional pole, but with a time that's a second adrift of the best we saw yesterday, and this one won't count because he's gone off onto the green painted area. So this will just need to be a practice lap for a flyer. 4.5 minutes remaining. I can't see that time staying as the fastest for this session, but at the moment nobody threatening it.
Yeah, no one's really able to improve further so far. Herjan the closest just now, but just missed out on sector 3.
So staying with provisional pole man. Nothing stunning through sector 1. decent pace. But I think because he went off on the green, this won't count. It'd be just good to see what his sector times are, because he'll want to pull the pin when he comes across the finish line next time. Another 2 flying laps after this one, if my maths are anywhere near correct. All right, so there's Don Ampu again, number 19, running close to Ferozi Torakatula. And Ferozi has just gone top, 152.3.
That was out of nowhere as well. He didn't set any fastest first and second sectors. It's just sector 3 he improved and went straight to the top.
Yeah, the time is decent. Looks like a decent race pace time. It doesn't look like a pole winning pace to me. There's a big group here. Will they help or hinder each other? Tonanpu currently 15th, but running with some much faster riders, sandwiched between Ferozi and Kiandra.
East and JT in the hands of Wacharin on an improving lap now. Herjanatna just set the fastest sector 1.
26.2 through sector 1. That was
sector 2 as well from Herjan.
Yeah, we know Herjan's quality.
He's got some clear track. He just made an overtaking move over Nguyen Tonampu. So Herjan now just has to close off sector 3, and this should be the fastest lap in qualifying. There will be one more lap after this though.
Yeah, he's got Putri just ahead of him, and Deandra. Have those two held him up in sector 3? We'll soon see, as the Astra Honda rider comes across the line. Yes, he does go to the top. Still in the 152s, 152.238. So it's very tight there. That was less than a tenth quicker than Ferozi. And next time they come around, it'll be the last time. So let's keep a close eye on the sector times. Piawat and Wacharin jumped up nicely for East NJT. They're in 6th and 7th now.
I'm surprised Herjan didn't back off straight away, because now everyone's trying to feed off his slipstream. He might be pulling some of them into a faster lap time. And Ferozi, good sector 1. Kiandra as well, sector 1 good. Piawat, Wacharin, Sharfuddin Azman, Irfan Hakal, all with good sector 1s.
Yeah, they know this is the last time around. Grid positions will be largely sorted out on this one. He's going around the outside of Aiki Iyoshi. Iyoshi getting into the technical part of the circuit ahead of Herjan. Aiki Iyoshi currently 9th, down in the high 153, so he needs an improvement. Kiandra's just behind him, Sharifuddin behind him, and Arai Agaska behind him. This is a very high quality group of bikes here. Just behind them, Wacharin, Piawat and Ferozi.
Ferozi just set the fastest second sector of this qualifying session as well, so Ferozi squeezing there.
Yeah, so time tenths will be won and lost as they go into turn 12 for the last time. So how will this shake out? Will it be Ferozi on pole? No. Yes, it will.
It is.
And he makes it into the 151s, 151.4. So he really gapped the rest of them.
Irfan Haikal is right at the end there, made it to 5th. That's the best qualifying we've seen from Irfan.
Yeah, he looked good. He looked aggressive all the way through, confident. Nice step up for the Bunsu Honda rider. Herjan 2nd, Cal Vietnam. Looks like he's going to be on the front row, unless there's anybody out there who is going to upset that, but there isn't. So Cal Vietnam will start from the front row. Good weekend from the Vietnamese rider. And it looks like Kiandra will head row 2 together with Irfan and Arai Agaska. Very different look to this field this season as we watch a whole group of riders line up there. Little conference going on there between Herjan Atner and Kiandra, the two Astra Honda riders at the front of the practice start group. Kiandra goes first. And a little reminder there that we are delighted to be partnering with Indian Oil, the fuel suppliers, not only for this year, the next 3. Ferozi Torakatullah confirmed as the fastest rider. He will start from pole position this afternoon. Next to him will be Herjan Atner Firdaus and Cao Vietnam. Leading the second row will be Kiandra Ramadeepa. 5th was Irfan Haikal. 6th, Arai Agaska. 7th, Pioat Patumios. And his East NJT Racing teammate, Watcherin, will be alongside him. He was 8th fastest. 9th, Sharifuddin Azman. A warm welcome to him into ARRC. Aiki Yoshi will start 10th. 11th for East NJT Warwick Tongnopakun. 12th for Honda Racing India, Mosin Paramban. 13th, Hu Tri for Honda Racing Vietnam. Tonampu, his teammate, will start 14th. 15th, Deandra Trihardika for Motul Sniper Manutech. Alfonsi Ray Santos Taquigan for SDG will start 16th. 17th, Longnan Zhe, the Hong Kong rider. Shun Chen Zhang, the Chinese rider next to him, and his compatriots Gao Zheang and Wang Jiadong will start from 19th and 20th. 21st, Freo VR Marco Suba for Pitspike 1J GRT had a crash in that session. Pacharagon will start 22nd for East NJT. He was caught up in that crash that was started by Kevin Kintol, who recorded no time in that session, so he will start 23rd. So steep hill to climb for the young Indian this afternoon. So we'll take another look at that. Daniel goes on the hunt for somebody to interview. Probably be Ferozi Torakatullah. But we'll just take another look at how that 30-minute qualifying session for AP 250s panned out. Fascinating when it was. And after a bit of dawdling early on, the field got down to business. This is a 23 bike field, and it did look crowded at times. Always featuring, as he has in free practice as well, was on the R3, Ferozi Torakatullah there again, alongside Herjan Atner Firdaus. They featured all the way through, running there with the Kawasaki of Aiki Iyoshi. So 3 manufacturers we have here, and there was that really unfortunate early crash there. Apologies from Kevin Kintal to the 2 East NJT bikes that he took out there. A lot of damage done. There was no chance of him getting back into qualifying. You've got Aiki Yoshi again running with 212 Kiandra and Alfonsi for SDG Hark Pro. Good to see SDG back in this class. This time with a Philippine rider. And this time Herjan running with another Indonesian prodigy, Arai Agaska, who first came to the attention of ARRC fans at Mandalika. There, number 65, Cao Vietnam, a rejuvenated, confident-looking Cao Vietnam. He was on top of the timing screen for most of the session, but as we got into the final stages, we suspected that times would tumble, and it was Herjan Atner who took a top spot. He was very quickly knocked off it by Ferozi Torakatullah, who will head this afternoon's grid. He will start from pole position with Herjan Atner Firdaus alongside him. Cao Vietnam will start from the front row this afternoon, so stay with us for that. We are going to We're looking for Daniel in Parc Fermé.
We're down here with the fastest man of qualifying and one of the fastest throughout every session yesterday, Ferozi. So you've been absolutely rapid with the new R3. How has it been out there now for the EP250 class?
Ya, untuk di qualifying tadi, saya berusaha fokus, tetap fokus. Dan dari kemarin FP1, FP2, FP3 juga saya lebih fokus ke suspensi. Jadi kita kerja sama timnya juga sangat baik di Yamaha Racing Indonesia. Dan kita menemukan setup terbaik untuk Yamaha R3 saya, untuk suspensi. Dan saya bisa memaksimalkan di setiap tikungannya. Dan untuk strategi tadi di qualifying ya alhamdulillah saya bisa dapat best time dan saya tetap fokus tadi di qualifying meskipun banyak halangan dan banyak rintangan juga karena kita juga harus slipstream dan lain-lain alhamdulillah dan saya akan fokus untuk race 1 kali ini.
Thank you so much, Ferozi. So the translation of that was that the focus from before was the suspension, and then throughout every session, this time there was a tough one in qualifying to try find the slipstream and to try get through everyone. But in the end, you guys managed it and qualified first. Thank you, Ferozi. Congratulations.
Bismillah.
IDEMITSU IFG7. Flagship engine oil nano-tailored for high-precision engines. Enhanced performance in 7 ways with super protective septic guard technology, the accumulated wisdom of oil experts. Anti-power loss nanotech keeps your engine performing at its peak for extended periods in harsh conditions. Beat the heat. IDEMITSU IFG7.
It's Saturday and we are at Chang International Circuit for round one of the IDEMITSU FIM Asia Road Racing Championship for 2024. And it being Saturday morning, that means it is time for qualifying, and we are getting through the program now at the beginning of the qualifying for Supersport 600s. Still have 2 more sessions to come after this, more of which later, as many of the riders are already out on track, a few just being held there. I think that was in the Astra Honda pit, but let's see. But as we've seen in AP250s, a very different look and feel to the field in Supersport 600s for 2024. Carl Paui, who starred throughout the season last year for IDEMITSU Bunsu Honda, not here. He's on duty elsewhere in World Championships, and also missing is Nakarin Tirapurapat, who is here, but he's in ASB 1000. Soichiro Minamoto, who won the championship last year, he has also moved up into ASB. But what we have got is some really exciting riders. Number 1, 2, 3, that very familiar number for Reza Danica Arens, who took the 2023 AP250 championship for Astra Honda. He is in Supersport 600s for 2024. We're happy to see him here. He had a very decent day yesterday, particularly in free practice 1, when he was 2nd quickest overall in combined times. He was 4th, the 139.5. 139 is a pretty good race pace here, and so far as the other times were concerned, quickest was Apiwat, who we'll be looking at in just a moment, in the mid to late 138s, so pretty much as we got used to seeing last year. So Razor's first time around there, he's into the low 140s, knocking on the doors of the 139s, but going straight in to the 139s was Apiwat Mongtananon, who on his first flying lap went, let me get this right, he got within a second of his best time yesterday. So good race pace for Apiwat Mongtananon. We saw him here in this class in December for the final round, when some clever riding by the Thai for the Yamaha team, now known as Yamaha Technique Team Asia. He collaborated to help Soichiro Minamoto to secure the championship. On your screen then is an exciting newcomer, Beda Ega Pratama, who's in for Astra Honda. You remember how fast this young rider was last year, not only in AP250s but in other championships, which he managed to dominate. So really another really exciting talent coming from Indonesia, and another one in a long line from Astra Honda. He's taking a little bit of time to get accustomed to the extra CCs, the extra weight that involved in controlling at high speed the Supersport 600 bike. One of the fastest riders all day yesterday on your screen there, and running a qualifying tyre early. As you can see, that green flash on the back of that Bunsu Honda means that he's running a qualifying tyre very early in the session for Azroy. Now this tyre could give him an advantage of perhaps a second on a normal race tyre, but it'll only do that for 2 or 3 laps. So Azroy going all out, although I have to say in this class we have seen pole position times set on race rubber. The extra stickiness from the qualifying tyres sounds good, but the extra grip you've got from the rear will push the front and alter the handling characteristics a bit too. so it's not universally used to set qualifying times. Staying with Reza Danica and willing the Indonesian AP250 double champion on to bigger things in this class. And there is Apiwat on your screen for the first time, the menacing number 24. He owns this circuit, at least in his own mind. Azroy has done the best time so far, so the qualifying tyres working for him. As Apiwat goes past his young compatriot on a Honda, Kiatisak Singapong. If Kiatisak can hang on to Apiwat, he could learn something about how to get around Chang International Circuit rapidly on a 600cc machine. Helmi Asman has just gone top. Helmi was very fast through the all-important Sector 3. So 138.6 is the marker that has been set down by Helmi Asman. And his teammate Azroy is just 0.06 of a second slower in provisionally P2. Apiwat some 0.4 adrift at the moment, but we know that Azroy's, they're both running qualifying tyres, so that explains the extra half a second to the second advantage that they've gotten on everybody else. Let's see how they're going through the sectors so far. Not particularly quick through sector 1, so it could be that those qualifying tyres are already done, but a clear strategy there from the IDEMITSU FIM Honda pit to put in the fast times early for their two riders. And following that, I guess that we will see something of a race rehearsal for the two Malaysians. Together with Apiwat, they were dominating the top of the timing screen, so those two are coming in. Those qualifying tyres are done. They've got Kiatisak following them in on the Thai Honda. Honda Racing Thailand running two bikes in Supersport 600 for this season. So 138.6 for both the Malaysian Bunsu Honda riders. Let's see what their strategy is for the remainder of this qualifying session. Almost 20 minutes remaining, so it is early days. And there is Wayu Nugroho, who for us here in the commentary box was the most impressive of the riders to have stepped up into Supersport 600 this season. There he is, Wayu Nugroho for Yamaha Racing Indonesia. He did a best time yesterday, 139.7. But his pace looked good, he was consistent, and you can see he's looking comfortable and aggressive on the bike as he gets into the technical part of this circuit. And the number 49 there is, beg your pardon, the number 45 there is Rei Matsuoka, who is on the Japanese rider in for the injured Andy Fadley for this round, and he's coming in for a stop as well. So most of the field in the pits now. We're looking at Helmi and Azroy there, looking pretty relaxed. There is Wayu Nugroho. So there you can pick out the number 20 of Azroy, the number 123 machine facing a 90-degree angle into pit lane of Reza Danica. It's all about tyres as they stop here. So meticulous care being taken there, of course, by the Astra Honda pit. I've been enjoying this this camera shot into the pits there. And into the Yamaha Racing Indonesia pit. One Japanese rider there, Rei Matsuoka. He has turned out for Yamaha Racing Indonesia before. And it is part of a pattern that's emerging of riders of different nationalities running for different nationality teams, which can only be a good thing. So it's all about the tyres. A lot of these riders will come out on qualifiers. Just trying to pick out exactly which pit we're in. I think that's, yeah, it's Honda Racing Thailand. So we're looking at Kiatisak there, I think. There's Muqtada conferring. Oh, sorry, that is Kiatisak, number 85. Looking carefully at the job in hand. He's 1.2 seconds slower than Helmi, who's on provisional pole as we speak. Mixture of personnel in the pits there. Of course, a few photographers, marshals, technical scrutineers, making sure everything is okay as well. And of course, Dunlop technicians at this important point in the Supersport 600 qualifying. Two riders in Supersports for Honda Racing Thailand. Tanat Longpliao, also a newcomer to the class, so two new riders there. And with rider coach Muqtada Sarapurch, herself a accomplished 600 rider. She's won 2 or possibly 3 Suzuka 4-hour races on a 600. She competed in the All Japan Championship and she won the 600 championship at this circuit. Stamp, that means Apiwat Wongtananon, that's his nickname. He's looking relaxed there, which means trouble for everybody else in the field. He won't be comfortable sitting there looking at himself in third place. Behind these two riders, Asroy, you can see clearly on your right, Helmi on the left. Talking tactics, those two riders, of course, have already done their qualifying tyres for this session. We're just over halfway through, 14 minutes remaining. As we look again through this busy pit lane, all we can see is tyre warmers, because keeping the tyres at high temperature is crucially important. I haven't got information about what the track temperature is now, but it will be in the absolutely ideal range for these Dunlop slicks. Constantly developing, as well as just supplying the tyres here. Dunlop developed them for this series and others. And there's several developments, particularly with the front tyre. There's a new rear tyre on the 600s for this year that was tested by part of the field at least at the end of last season. But it's crucial to keep these tyres as hot as possible, because when slick tyres are cold, they've got no grip whatsoever. When they're hot, they're sticky like Play-Doh. Everybody in the pits now. So just time to mention, like in all the other classes, the fuel in these bikes is supplied by our new fuel partner, Indian Oil. So we have control fuel for this class, and that's a deal that was signed for 3 years. So fantastic to have Indian Oil in as part of this championship. Again, broadening the demographic that we are aiming at with the Asia Road Racing Championship. Every class of which provides close, thrilling racing. We saw some fantastic racing in this category last year, and while the field looks very different this year, when you look down the list and you see Helmi, Azroy and Apiwat as experienced campaigners, you know they're going to be somewhere near the front, but then you also see newcomers coming through, like established champions Reza Danica, and riders coming through on the Astra Honda and Thai Honda rider development systems like Kiatisak and Tanat. And for Astra Honda, Adananta Putra and Veda Ega Pratama. It looks as though one of the early riders out, and he will want to move himself up from P3 to P1. That's all he's interested in, Apiwat Wongtananon. So the 600s fire back up again. And this will be business time. The Bunsu Hondas of Helmi and Azroy have been out on qualifying tyres early. That was their strategy. Daniel's just got back to the commentary box, so welcome back, Daniel. What do you make of the Bunsu Honda strategy? Is this going to be a race rehearsal for the rest of the session?
Seems like it. I think the Bunsu Honda boys, they really have everything so planned out. And we've seen it, and they work really well. So right now they're looking at a really good rhythm. Of course, last year we saw it as well with the trio, including Kip. So this time Helmi and Azroy looking strong, but let's see what happens now. Bunch of riders out on qualifying compounds. Everything could change up.
Yeah, and there is McKinley Carl Paz coming out for Yamaha Racing Indonesia. Oh, sorry, Yamaha Asia, Yamaha Techni Asia. There are a few new team names, even if they're the same teams, of course. Sponsors move around, so there's a few new names for us to get used to. So there is Azroy running mediums, front and rear. But you can see a lot of green flashes on the rear of several, if not most of those bikes, which indicates that they are on qualifying tyres.
Get the onboard camera here. It's a great shot to the back. But this will be interesting. Most of them are out on qualifying rears. Seems that medium will be the main choice compound though for the races later on in the afternoon and for tomorrow.
Yeah, and it seems like the track temperatures aren't going to get excruciatingly hot. Hopefully they'll be in a good range, and everybody, that won't be a factor.
You know, the weather today is absolutely lovely. You could really walk outside and it's not that hot. And the conditions are much different from what's predicted tomorrow. Tomorrow, looking at the forecast, it's potentially going to rise up to 37 degrees Celsius. So big difference compared to what we're seeing now. The conditions seem to, the prediction is it will stay like this for the rest of the afternoon.
Yeah, starting his first flying lap on qualifying tyres is Apiwat Wongtananon. So he heads down the long straight from turn 3 to turn 4. So sector 1 decent from him. He should get 2 really quick laps in on these qualifying tyres.
Colours and Apiwat's bike are really, really nice. It stands out well, the contrast between the blue, the light blue and the red.
Yeah, and the nice white V at the front accentuates the number nicely for us.
So this is Apiwat's first flying lap. Sector 1, nothing to shout about. Sector 2, an improvement. Let's see whether Sector 3 does anything for Apiwat. 3 gears down there.
So we all watch.
So it does improve up at 38.734. McKinley Kyle pads as well, 1 minute 40.0. So qualifying compounds in these temperatures, potentially they can push for a 3rd lap, but as we know from previous rounds in the heat, about 2 laps is where it's at its optimum grip.
Yep, so this is really the lap to watch now for Apiwat. Decent, but not stunning Sector 1. And he's in a group of bikes there as well.
It looks like IDEMITSU Honda might just run away with this. Sector 1, really nothing to show for Apiwat. Kiatisak though, Sector 1 is good. Wahyu Nugroho as well, a really good Sector 1 coming.
We're just looking at Helmi Asman, provisionally on the top.
Apiwat's 2nd sector as well, not an improvement, so by the looks of it, the qualifying compound run for Apiwat will not push him up further than 3rd. But for now, Kiatisak is looking at a good lap as well. Wahyu Nugroho, also a very good lap. So Wahyu Nugroho is currently on a faster lap than Kiatisak. So we can expect Wahyu Nugroho to shoot up to maybe he'll just push Veda off 4th.
Yeah, and just once again with the qualifying tyres, we should expect an advantage of at least half a second a lap.
Follow the IDEMITSU Honda duo, both of them running the mediums. Kiatisak has just come across and he remains in 6th. Wahyu Nugroho only goes as far as 7th, so the 3rd sector really letting Wahyu down there.
Yeah, Kiatisak, I know he's on qualifiers, but that's his best time of the weekend. And making decent progress, the newcomer to Supersport 600s.
Apiwat's qualifying is done. He just completely slowed down in Sector 1, so
yeah,
the qualifying tire is completely depleted now. What a job from Veda Iga to be the fastest Astro Honda in this session.
Yeah, it is.
This kid is just remarkable. He just finds improvements every time he's on the bike. He never stops. You would think 2 crashes might have shaken him up a bit, but he just keeps going faster.
Yeah, it's really good to see. I mean, he's not the biggest rider out there.
Azra just found some improvement in Sector 1 there, so Azra might just improve it slightly further.
Yeah, before you came back in, I was saying that it's not always the qualifiers in this class that give the riders pole position. That's been especially true for the IDEMITSU Hondas.
We saw it with Helmi as well. I went on the qualifying compounds early, went even faster in the mediums, and I think especially in the case for riders like Helmi and Azroy, they love to spin that rear tire up, so maybe the qualifying compound just grips up a bit too much for their liking. For other riders it might work well, but maybe for them the way that they ride is a bit different.
Yeah, we're with Veda Ega Pratama now. Let's see how he got through Sector 3. That was a 140.8 lap, so... Ooh!
I was just about to say that you could see he was struggling to keep that bike in line and at the last turn. And there with that tank slapper, you could see even more how, yeah, he doesn't really have the weight to muscle that bike back down. And it's going to be tough for Veda, but he's doing a fantastic job.
Yeah, he definitely is, as is this rider, Azroy. he'll be looking for some good results this season. 4 DNFs in 2023, completely scuppered his chances of fighting for the championship. And as you said yesterday, he had similarly bad luck in 2022, so we know his quality. So smooth as we watch him go through the loop at turn 3. Alone this time, so provisionally it's the 3 fastest riders, but in a different order at the top of the timing screens. All of them have used up their qualifying tyres. And there is Reza Danica, he's on mediums. Best time 1:39.9 so far for Reza.
Completely cut through there.
Yeah, so that lap won't count. In fact, he might even, though he's coming back onto the circuit. Wasn't sure whether he'd go left or right there and come into pit lane. But he keeps himself out of the way. Vader again having a little fight with that CBR 600 RR.
You know, the thing about Vader is that his mindset to just go faster, he's just gassing it out even harder every time. Every time there's a twitch, he's just figuring out, okay, maybe if I angle it a bit differently, I can go a bit more. It doesn't slow him down.
That's it, and ultimately just keep the gas on.
Yeah, as you always say, when in doubt, gas it out.
That's it.
Unbelievable, Vader.
Yeah, and getting involved there as well was good to see, was Sha Jun Tong.
Yeah, he's closed the gap between himself and the rest on top, so really top job from Sha Jun Tong.
Yeah, I do admire what he's doing there for Victor Racing.
Yeah, yesterday he was about 3 seconds adrift. Now he's only 2.6 away, I think.
Yeah, 41.9. So yeah, he's best part of a second better than he was yesterday. So great work from the Chinese rider. Apiwat in the pit. Azroy and Helmi getting sorting out their pace. Reza Danica should be looking for some improvements. They won't come this lap. And Adananta Putra also further down the order than we would have expected. His best time yesterday was mid 1:39s, Adananta, and now he's so far he's not even come within 1.3 seconds of that.
Must be bike issue. He's only done 3 laps, so really can't get it back
Yeah,
up.
I can't remember seeing him on the screen.
So yeah, checker flag out. Looks like Helmi Azman is our pole man for the Super Sports 600 class. His teammate Azra Hakimanwa in second, and Apiwat completing the front row. It's quite a different session compared to yesterday.
Yeah, and it looks like the race pace will be in the early to mid 1:39s this afternoon. So good work by Helmi Azman, pole position for him. Apiwat did not come back out, but he will, as he almost always does in every class, start from the front row every time out. And really nice session there, as you were saying, Daniel, from Veda Ega Pratama. So as we watch them cool down, Daniel will warm up on his way to Parc Fermé to have a word with Helmi and perhaps somebody else while he's out there. But an intriguing session there, qualifying. The real work was done very early in the session, so it didn't reach a climax that qualifying often does. As we look across there, big shout to Dunlop, of course, for the fantastic work that they've been doing in this series. Seems like forever, and it probably is, but there it is, confirmed. 1:38.6 was good enough early in the session on qualifiers to take Helmi Azman to pole position. Just 0.06 of a second slower was his teammate Azroy Hakim Anwar. So Idemitsu Bunsu Honda, fantastic work. Apiwak Mongtananon, 138.734. Will start on the outside of the front row. Fourth, Veda Ega Pratama, great session for the Astra Honda youngster. Tanat Longpliao, good for him too, 139.5. Kiatisak, his teammate, will start from 6th. 7th, Wayne Agroho, and 8th, Reza Danica Arens, who clocked to 139.9. McKinley Carl Paz for Yamaha Techne Racing Team Asia was 9th. 10th, Ray Matsuoka, the stand-in rider for Andy Fadley for Yamaha Racing Indonesia, was 10th. 11th, Adanata Putra, who seemed to have had some problems in that session, some bike problems. And the ever-improving Xiaojun Chong, Chinese rider for Victor Racing Team, will start from 12th. And while Daniel makes his way towards pit lane to Parc Fermé for an interview, we will have another look at the highlights of that session. And here we go. We just saw Helmi going into turn 3 there. And the notable thing that we spotted early was that he was running qualifying tyres, as was his teammate number 20. They came straight out on qualifiers, and they did the important work, which was securing their fastest lap times, first and second, very early in the session. Apiwak Mongtananon, he came out on qualifiers later, didn't really make them work, it has to be said, although his time was good enough to keep him on the front row. He ended up 3rd in that session, so there wasn't a last-minute dash for grid positions for the front row, but there was some action further down the field. We saw Helmi and Azroy checking their race setup, running mediums in these perfect conditions for racing at Chang International. It's like medium will be the choice this afternoon. There's Vida Ega getting to know this Supersport 600. He had a couple of spectacular tank slappers to work those forearm and shoulder muscles on the young Indonesian. But it was a great session from him. Azroy Hakim Anwar. I mean, the perfection that Daniel was referring to that goes on in the Bunsu Honda pit, put 0.06 of a second between Helmi and Azroy. There is Helmi taking the checkered flag for the final time around. So we'll be Helmi, Azroy and Apiwat on the front row, and Veda Ega Pratama will lead row 2. We're going to go down to Daniel in Parc Fermé.
We're down here at Parc Fermé after a great qualifying session from Helmi Osman for the Supersport 600. So Helmi, it was you and Azroy, the two teammates once again, the dream duo fighting at the top. How was that qualifying session? Because in practice it was a different story, but this time it worked out for you guys.
Yes, of course. My feeling was good yesterday for practice, but the time not enough too fast. But today I already planned for yesterday, like try to attack with the soft tire first, because I know the temperature also coming hot. Here very hot now, so I try to attack with Azroy. We try to collaboration and then try to give and take for the the lap time. So yes, I was expect this time because last year already official test already I make 38. So now I try to improve better, like better than last year. So I get this time. I want to thanks to IDEMITSU Bunsu Honda Racing Team, make a good job for the weekend.
Thank you so much, Helmi. Good luck for the races this weekend.
Enhance performance in 7 ways with super protective septic guard technology, the accumulated wisdom of oil experts. Anti-power loss nanotech keeps your engine performing at its peak for extended periods in harsh conditions. Beat the heat. IDEMITSU IFG7. IDEMITSU IRG5. Start like a rocket and ship like silk with super bike-proven nano-tailored oil. Ultra-protective Quintec guard technology distills the wisdom of oil experts. 5 protective benefits in harmony unleash the peak performance of your engine. Nano Silky Tech ensures extra smooth upshifting at high RPM. Rocket starts, silky shifts. IDEMITSU IRG5.
Challenge for rider and machine in Super Pole, so it's a very absorbing contest. And there going out is the number 14, Pirapong Nubumpeng. Just getting himself comfortable on the bike. And there goes Fazrul Sham, number 11. He's moved from Pitts Bike to Cardinals Racing this year, and he gets his head down. Aditya Fauzi there, I think, was the first rider out, number 60. Sorry, it's number 60 is Wayuaji Trilaksana. He was the first man out because he was the 10th fastest, so they go in reverse order, and this is Wayuaji Trilaksana's out lap. So he will be pulling the pin as soon as he exits turn 12. So he gets across the finish line as fast as possible to record his Super Pole, his single Super Pole lap. So here he goes, head down, counting the seconds before he has to pop his head up. for the braking into turn 1. Next across the line is Fahmi Bassam, number 222. Fahmi Bassam has been quick all the way through this weekend so far. And Faris Putra, newcomer, in for Cardinals, number 33. Alongside Fazrul Sham. And there is, for Team One for All, Pirapong Louis Bumpeng. Next up to start his flying lap. He gets the green flag. He puts his head down, right down. I guess he can count how many seconds he needs before he has to take another look. Getting every thousandth of a second they possibly can with aerodynamics, machine control, skill. Double champion we're looking at here, Wayuaji Trilaksana, and in 2023 took another step in his career by coming into the championship with his own team, Racetech 60. Big colour change for this year, and a very welcome one from my perspective in the commentary box. It's bright green. The Racetech 60 bikes bookended the top 10 in this morning's qualifying 2 session. Wayu was 10th, and his teammate Aditya Fauzi was 1st, so that means Wayuaji is out first and Aditya will be out last. So here comes Wayuaji to complete his Super Pole lap, and he clocks a 203.635. Fahmi Bassam next up. Fahmi Bassam, two and a half tenths faster. So Fahmi Bassam, provisional pole position. Now here comes Fares Putra, impressive yesterday. Fares goes to provisional pole with a 202.4. Next up, Pirapong Louis Bumpeng. He comes down under braking to turn 12. Few people know this Chang International circuit better than Pirapong. He takes the checkered flag. His is a 205, so he doesn't trouble the front row. Here comes Fazrul Sham. Fazrul Sham moves into P3, which puts him on provisional outside front row. So Fares currently on top. Fahmi Bassam second and Fazrul third. Fares on his slowing down lap. It's fairly quick slowing down lap. So best time set by Fares Putra Fadil, 202.441. So we've got 5 riders left to come out, and the first of those will be defending champion Nazrul Izzat Bahuddin. He will be followed by a former 2-time champion, Gubita Krishna Wardana, the Indonesian, riding for 4S1M, the Indonesian team. So that's the job done. He's done all that he can, Fares, so he will come into the technical area. To have that bike weighed and checked over. As we wait for the second group of bikes to come to pit exit. Yeah, that was a good job by Ferez. Okay, so the next rider out with that big number 1 on the front of his Uma Racing, but the Philippine side of the operation. April King behind him. Dimas Juliet Moko will be third out in this session. So Nazrul is away on his outlap. Had a real proper champion's performance to take the title last season. He had a moderate start here at Chang International. Oh, and looks like there's a little bit of a hiccup there for April King. That will got the heart rate spiked nicely up, stalling just before he's due to go out, which will be any second now. There he goes. April King Moscado looking for a good season. If Nazrul Izzat had a fabulous season last year, April King's was a little more disappointing. Took a couple of knocks and didn't fulfill quite what we expected of him. Dimas Juliet Moko riding this season for Team One for All, which would be a good thing for him. He's alongside Pirapong Louis Vimpeng in that team, both of whom have made Super Pole, top 10. And there was the fastest man from this morning's qualifying 2 session, Aditya Fauzi, for Race Tech 60. He was the fastest this morning, and that means that he is the last rider to go out. And just looking at his crouch style, it's a little bit more untidy to my eyes than this one by the defending champion, Nazrul. So Nazrul pins it as he comes across the finish line for his flying lap. He really won the championship in the middle rounds of last season, rounds 2 to 4 really, and then he just was good enough to hold on to the huge lead he had at one point through to the end of the season. April King, new colour scheme for his bike, although his leathers are the same colour as Uma Racing were running last season. He gets down to business at the start of his flying lap. So Nazrul's first sector was okayish. Let's see how he does as he comes through the second sector. April King not so quick through sector 1 as Aditya Fauzi, fastest rider this morning, crosses the line. 47.4, so that's a decent second sector. Oh, but Nazrul, it's all gone wrong in Super Pole for Nazrul Izzat Bahudin. He's blown an engine by the look of it. That's smoke rather than steam that we can see coming from that Yamaha. So, a dramatic and worrying start to his title defence for Nazrul Izzat Bahudin for Uma Racing, but still out on track. And second out in this session. Fourth quickest this morning was April King Moscado on the number 43. April King looking decent on this lap, but none of the times so far look as though they're going to knock Ferez off provisional pole position. Here comes April King. What has he done in sector 3? He crosses the line. April King moves into P5, middle of the second row with a 203.722. Now, Dimas Juliet Moko. So a kind of averagely good lap. That puts him into fourth. So he provisionally leads the front row. Now, what can Gupita Krishna do? I can tell you that Aditya Fauzi is looking like he's on a quick lap. Gupita physically pushes on the bars of that Yamaha to get it across the line, but he's provisionally ninth. Aditya Fauzi crosses the line, and the fastest rider this morning for Racetech 60 is the fastest rider on Super Pole, and he will start his first full season in the Asia Road Racing Championship on pole position this afternoon for the Underbone 150 race. Huge congratulations to Aditya Fauzi. We saw him once as a wild card at his home race in Mandalika last year, and he looked quick. He's looked quick all the way through, and so has the newcomer for Cardinals, Faris Putra, who can be very happy with his front row qualifying as well. So let's confirm that. Aditya Fauzi 202.402 to start from pole position this afternoon for Racetech 60. Faris Putra Fadil for Cardinals will start in the middle of the front row. Next to him, Fahmi Bassam for Yamaha LFN H Putra 969. Ahmad Fazrul Sham for Cardinals will start row 2 in fourth place. Fifth, Dimas Juliet Moko. Sixth, Wayuaji Trilaksana for Racetech 60. Seventh, April King Moscado. And eighth, Pirapong Louis Peng. Starting from ninth will be Gupita Krishna for 4S1M Evo Yamaha, and Nazrul Izzat didn't record a time, so I'm not sure, and I don't have a rule book to hand, whether he will start from 10th or whether he will need to start from the back. Surely not. It might be his qualifying time from this morning that counts. So that's it. That's Super Pole done. That's 7 out of 8 sessions done this morning. We'll take another quick look at that Super Pole session in just a moment. Daniel will be on hand, no doubt, to speak to the pole winner. But there was drama then for the defending champion, Nazrul Izzat Bahuddin. He hasn't had the best run of luck, it has to be said, at Chang International. He wasn't on the podium here last year, despite his brilliance in other rounds. And there he is, he's still aboard the bike, getting taken back. Flanked by two of track marshals here. Just for safety, he's got a paramedic riding behind him. So let's take a look. It was Wayuaji Trilaksana who was 10th quickest in qualifying 2 this morning, who was first out for Super Pole. He set a lap time of 203.635. Fahmi Bassam was the next out behind him. He came through, he clocked a really good lap. 202.9 for him. And Faris Putra, another one of the first 5 riders out in that split Super Pole session. And there we were with Nazrul Izzat Bahuddin, and you could see the back wheel locked up there, and that was an engine going. You could see from the way the back wheel locked up, he quickly pulled in the clutch, but that engine is done. So a lot of work to do in his pit. Dimas Juli at Moko. And Gupita Krishna came through. He urged that bike across the line, pushing on the bars, but that was only good enough for as I can remember, 8th place, but this rider, Aditya Fauzi, for Racetech 60, took pole. Shortly we will be going to Daniel in pit lane, who'll be talking to Aditya Fauzi. Next up will be the final qualifying session of the day, which is for the ASB 1000s. They'll be out for a 40-minute qualifying session as the marshals scrutinize the track for debris. On the gantry there, you can see Dunlop Sport Max. Those are the tyres that are being used and continuously developed by Dunlop. We are ready for Daniel, who is in pit lane in Parc Fermé.
So we're down here at Parc Fermé after the Underbone 150 Super Pole, and once again it's the green Aditya Fauzi. So Aditya, you were fastest in qualifying and now once again in Super Pole. How was it out there?
Ya, terutama saya sangat senang bisa berada di pole position di kualifikasi dan di Super Pole tadi. Berjalannya tadi Super Pole, saya tidak banyak strategi karena saya sendiri sudah yakin kalau saya bisa ada di Super Pole.
Thank you so much, Aditya. Very well said. So the translation of that was basically that Aditya said he had the pace already. He knew he had the pace. So he was confident. There was no real strategy. He knew he had it. And it's very short and well done said by Aditya. Back to you, Barry.
Once again, we heard that there was no strategy for Aditya Fauzi, but the no strategy is working well. We're going to take a short break now, and then we'll come back with the qualifying session for ASB 1000. So stay with us. We're at Chang International Circuit for round 1 of the IDEMITSU FIM Asia Road Racing Championship.
IDEMITSU IRG7. Race-bred nano-tailored oil for enhanced acceleration and horsepower. Even in harsh conditions, the 7 protective benefits of septic guard technology keep your engine performing at its peak. Even a split-second advantage can change everything. Born to win. IDEMITSU IRG7.
I don't know. Right, here we are. It is time for the final qualifying session of this Saturday morning, and it is the ASB 1000s. Lots going on here as the bikes make their way out onto their outlaps for this 40-minute session. Aslan Shah, followed by his teammate Marcus Reiterberger, who topped combined practice yesterday. Just at the front of that little group. The story yesterday was very much Marcus making his way up the timing screens because he missed the pre-season test on Wednesday. He didn't quite get there in time. So he had a little bit of catching up to do yesterday, but by the end of free practice 3, he had done it, and he was the fastest rider of the day. And this rider here, Aslan Shah, had a very good free practice 1 and free practice 2. Played it a little bit in free practice 3. But Aslan looks really good this weekend, Daniel.
Yeah, Aslan is looking like his former self once again, and you know, every session that we've had at the start, besides practice 3, he completely just ran away with it. This time, however, it's qualifying. It's a different day. It's a new day. It's running mediums, and already we're getting good signs from Aslan. It's already the fastest first sector. It's only the first flying lap. But Hafiz Sharin as well, he's looking much faster today.
Yeah, and Yuki Kuni looking decent as well.
He's been really good this weekend.
Yeah, like Aslan, he didn't show up so much in the third session, but in the first 2 he really was there. Yeah, Aslan looking good so far in this one, and we did see him yesterday very early in free practice sessions.
So the first 135 there from Hafiz Sharin on his first flying lap in qualifying, 135.822. Hafiz Sharin has arrived. Aslan, he looked back that might lose him some time. He was on a really good one. It's still a good one, a 135.218.
Yeah, really good. Yeah, that was the briefest of moments at the top of the timing screens for Hafiz Sharin, but it was what we were looking for yesterday, which was breaking into the 135s. The best qualifying time we saw here back in December at the end of round 1 was from Andy Farid Izdihar, which is 134.9.
To come to think, Aslan nearly touched a 134 while using mediums. Fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, progress from JDT and Hafiz Sharin. There is the last time out pole winner, Andy Farid Izdihar.
Hafiz is on another good one. He's going to improve his time a bit further now. This will be around the 135 mids. Maybe if he stitches up sector 3, it'll be a 35 low. Here's Hafiz Sharin now, the number 55. The sole Ducati and the sole rider for JDT Racing Team. He's running the hard front and the soft rear. Let's see what he does. He's got the toe of Lachlan Epis, 1:35.7, so he improves, but just slightly.
Yeah, so good progress in the 35s. Plenty of movement on that Ducati on the exit there to turn 1. As Lachlan leads the Malaysian legend through the kink that is turn 2 into turn 3. Looks like Hafiz just easing off a little bit there. And while we were talking about them, Nakarin Atirapuvapat, one of 3 riders in the Honda Asia Dream Racing with Astimo team, has put himself into P2. He was very much at the top throughout the day yesterday, Nakarin.
Daniel there, just getting past Osama, trying to tail himself behind Farid there. Kasma, we know how good Kasma is, and there we go, he does improve up at 1:35.895. Yeah, it's a tough one for Kasma. He's really fast in the flowy corners, but he just loses a lot of top-end speed. You can see the speed deficit right now. He's done 291 across the speed trap, whereas you have Andy Farid in front of him, 300 kilometers per hour.
Yeah, it's visible to the naked eye, that deficit that he's suffering on the Yamaha, and it is a shame because Kasper was so strong in his rookie year in 2022, and by the end of the season we thought potential championship coming for him in 2023, but the Yamaha wasn't able to give him what he needed. Oh, there's a rider that's pretty much got what he needed, but a little bit out of shape there for Nakarin Atirapuvapat. There's his teammate and 2022 champion Zakwan Zaidi running the familiar number 21. So far, not into the 135s for Zakwan.
Andy's on a hot one. Here comes Andy Farid now. Set the fastest sector 2 time. If Andy can make this one stick, it looks like Andy might shoot up to the top. Here comes Andy Farid, 1:35.342. That puts him right behind Nakarin.
Yeah, it's really, really close between the top handful. And you're looking here at Hafiz, Daniel.
Yeah, Hafiz just set the fastest sector 2 time. This is Hafiz Sharin coming together now. He's done a good sector 1, decent. Sector 2, the fastest of the session. And now we're going to watch that Ducati power as he muscles down the final straight before the last turn. As he gets on the gas, will he keep it tidy? And he does. This could be a really good one from Hafiz Sharin, a 1:35.826. So he's lost time in sector 1 and sector 3, but sector 2 is brilliant from him.
Yeah, and the bike looks much more planted, not so much squirming on acceleration. Still picking up the front, the rear rather, for turn 12, but looking increasingly sorted. Here he is, coming into turn 3, provisional fastest with his hat flapping in the breeze. Smiling Aslan Shah.
Yeah, he's looking young again. We've had 9 minutes of qualifying. Aslan Shah, business as usual for this weekend. Fast in the early portion, and he's going to have a rest before they head out again. Hafiz Sharin, that's been impressive from him this morning already.
Yeah, he's got less than a tenth on Nakarin, who's next best. Andy Farid comes in, pole sitter from December, so we know how good he is around here on a superbike. And it wasn't just in round 6. There was a bit of a squirm there for Hafiz.
It looks like most of the...
So he's rolled off.
Yeah, I think most of the grid will head back into pit lane. I wonder at what point in this qualifying they head out on qualifying tyres.
Yeah, that will be good to see. The new tyres for the superbikes this season. Front and rear. I think it's a slightly stiffer front than we were used to, but as they do, Dunlop continuously developing the rubber. So Marcus looks relaxed and cheeky despite being on the provisional second row.
Yeah, you love the positivity that Marcus has. And mind you, on the lap that he came in, he almost set another good lap.
Yeah. So Aslan did what we saw him do in the first 2 sessions yesterday. Went out early, banked a good time, came in and chilled out. I don't think Zakwan, Nakarin, Andy Farid or Marcus or Yuki Kuni or Hafiz are going to make him feel too comfortable.
Zakwan, I think, Zakwan was on a good lap and he's pulled back in, so Zakwan Zaidi for now sits in 8th position. Top 9 gapped by just a second.
Yeah, so that's Zakwan from Malaysia. We got Andy from Indonesia, and we got Nakarin from Thailand, all in that Honda Asia Dream Racing pit box. With the team manager, none other than Makoto Tamada. And once again, we've got my my favourite shot of my favourite news shot of the championship, looking over the flags into pit lane.
Yeah, it's really nice, nice angle that we're getting here. You can just see the busyness in the paddock area.
Yeah, atmospheric shot. Great work from the director and camera team. Take a look at Hafiz.
Yeah, that's a good smile there.
It's a genuine smile, I think. Making progress.
I think that's a smile that will raise concerns from the rest of the competitors. Hafiz showing a happy Hafiz means a speedy Hafiz.
Yeah, happy riders do tend to go fast.
Here's Nakarin. He's someone not lacking any pace.
No, and he's been good all the way through. This is a new bike for 2024. The Honda. There's Pasowit on his way back after getting himself knocked around quite badly at times in 2023. But another hugely positive character. Right in the foreground there is the number 44 bike outside the Victor Racing garage. That is the mount of Osama Murray. So he's out again, good to see him, and good to know that we have followers from Yemen joining us, so welcome to you guys. Welcome to people watching on video.com in Indonesia, as well as our friends on YouTube and Facebook. We're looking at Yuki Kuni there, who looked really good in the first 2 sessions yesterday. Now he's sitting in provisional 5th. He did find it hot yesterday, didn't he?
He did, yeah. You never see him without that ice pack. And here's there's Marcus just peeping through there. Looks like they're gonna get busy real quick now. Everyone's getting their helmets on, getting ready to go out. I think they want to take advantage of the conditions now before the heat starts to pick up.
Yeah, that was an interesting comment from Helmi in the Supersport post-qualifying interview about wanting to get the fast laps in early as possible in the session because of the heat. Got a little bit of kind of fluffy cloud cover here, which is just keeping the worst of the searing heat off.
Looks like some pressure adjustment there for Marcus.
Yeah, taking a close look, he's a real engineer himself, Marcus. Loves building bikes, running them around. He's got I can't remember how many, but he's got a very big bike garage full of bikes back home in Bavaria.
Yeah, I had a look at it last year when we hopped on a little bit of an Instagram live with Marcus, and he's got a really nice setup garage, proper trophy cabinet and everything. his career, there's a lot of trophies.
Yeah, absolutely. This season, as he did last year, he's running for the official BMW team in the Endurance World Championship, as well as here, which is good. Very different disciplines. Here you have to go fast for a relatively short period of time. So, yeah.
Some fresh rubbers on Hafiz. Oh, we have qualifying tyres on for Nakarin.
They have to be heated up to working temperature, because otherwise there's no grip at all.
Excited for this one. I'm sure there's plenty more riders who have slapped on the qualifying tyres now.
Yeah, we've got 24 minutes left, but because of the way that the track is heating up, it does make sense to put the qualifying tyres on now. And first out for JDT on that gorgeous looking Ducati is Hafiz Shirin.
I just want to commend them for the improvements, because look at the gap now between Hafiz to Aslan. Yesterday they were looking at more than a second of a gap. Now, this morning, well, almost afternoon now, midday, Hafiz is only 0.4 away from the top. So the improvements they've made in just a day, just 3 sessions yesterday, is remarkable. And now we're seeing Hafiz in qualifying tyres. Let's see how this pans out. It's going to be 2 really good laps.
And we're seeing the top speed there, 305 from Hafiz, from that Ducati. That's quite something too.
That's what we expected from the Ducati. 305.
Yeah, we know the BMW's fast, we know the Honda's fast, but the Ducati, we know from other championships around the world where Ducatis are more widely used, that they are really quick. And in the hands of Hafiz Shirin, this one is certainly joining that group.
There we go, we were following Hafiz there. He will start his flying lap soon. Azdan Shah, he's coming out as well.
Yeah, he'll want to make this count and probably come back in, because as he told us yesterday, he's got only one engine this weekend.
Yes, he's got qualifiers on as well. So let's see what the ASB 1000 boys can do in qualifiers. Here comes Hafiz for his first flying lap on the qualifying rear compound. He's got the medium front on. He had the hard front, soft rear just now.
Yeah, he did, yeah.
So this is a different selection altogether again. But let's see his first sector time as he comes across.
So here he comes, slithering into turn 3. Nice entry angle.
Very different line that he's chosen there. I think that benefits, that kind of line benefits his top speed. So good sector 1. Let's see sector 2 coming from Hafiz.
Yeah, because he's coming out in much more of a straight line rather than having to pick the bike up quite as hard.
He's taken sort of that V-shaped line. Oh, Hafiz a bit of traffic there, but he's managed to make it sick.
Yeah, just sliced there past Zakwan Zaidi.
Really good sector 2. Hafiz fastest sector 2 of the session now on the qualifying rear compounds. This could be a 34 coming from Hafiz. Let's see now. Oh, it's just the power. The front wheels just lifting off at every opportunity at this point.
Yeah, at this point Nakarin has gone to the top with a 134.467. So phenomenal time for the Thai newcomer to ASB. And now we hold our breath as Hafiz comes round turn 12.
Just going to the top. Look at the power of the Ducati pushing him. Hafiz Shirin goes up to second, just below Nakarin. He'll have one more hot lap coming in. Oh, but it looks like he's backed off from this one.
Yeah, this lap won't count. So that will be, I don't think after he's gone around again, he's going to get another quick lap out of that. But he's in the 134s, and we were looking for him to come into the 135s not so long ago. Here is Aslan Shah coming up.
He was pacing himself there for a good exit.
Yeah.
So it looks like Hafiz probably will try for one more lap, because it wasn't the cleanest. He did have a bit of traffic into the second sector. So maybe Hafiz might be able to squeeze a lap from that tire, but it's going to be tough.
Yeah. You don't want to burn up that tyre too much around this time. being talked in the TKKR BMW pit. Meanwhile, out on track, the tactics are in the hands of Aslan Shah Kamaruzaman. Aslan good, sector 1.
Andy Farid's on a really good lap time. He's done the fastest sector 1. And Andy Farid goes second, so he pushes Hafiz down into third for now. A 134.6. So the gap's not much, except for Nakarin. Nakarin did an absolute monster lap, 34.2.
Yeah, great stuff from Nakarin.
He's a rookie in this category, isn't he? And he's still looking seasoned.
Yeah, he is. I mean, he's ridden superbikes around here. He took the local championship, but this is a little bit different, and the bike's different. This is a 2024 bike that he's on now, so it's new for him. Here comes Aslan. What does he's doing? Sector 3. Good sector 3, 35.1. But my goodness, that 34.2 from Nakarin. It's given the rest of the field something to think about.
This will be another push lap from Aslan. Hafiz as well, he's on a push lap. Did a decent sector 1, but he's going to have to find something 2 and 3. Again, as well for Aslan, that sector 1 wasn't as great as it could be.
Yeah, leg out for Marcus. Marcus comes in. Just have a look at the back of that BMW.
It's not qualifying.
Yeah, no, he's not. Oh, perhaps he's going to build up the drama for us. We've got just under 18 minutes remaining. And I'm quite sure that this is done. Hafiz comes back in.
Here's the interesting thing. I mean, of course, Marcus still has to go on the qualifying compounds, but Hafiz has done qualifying compounds. Aslan, Zakwan as well is on qualifying compounds, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So, provisionally, right now, Hafiz is looking at a front row start. Of course, we still have to see how Marcus does, but this is brilliant from Hafiz and JDT. They've the strides they've made since Friday morning.
Yeah, there he is. A little tap on the back. Will do for now. Marcus takes a break. He's currently looking uncharacteristically midfield, but he hasn't put on his qualifiers yet, and he's in the mid 135s, which is a good race pace. We haven't spoken much about this rider yet for STG Hark Pro, Yuki Kuni.
And no qualifying compounds for Yuki either, so the drama continues for ASB 1000.
Yeah, that's good. Personally, I would rather they put the qualifiers on late so we can get excited.
Aslan, he's just done his second flying lap on the qualifying compounds, 134.9. So Aslan improves up into fourth, but I think that's as much as the qualifying tire will give him.
Yeah, that is Nakarin.
I mean, at this point in time, Nakarin has really blitzed everyone. He's 0.3 of a second faster than Andy Farid in second, and a 134.2.
Yeah, putting that in perspective as well, just 3 or 4 months ago when we were here for the last round, Andy Farid's pole time was 134.971. We do have new tyres, but let's not take anything away from Nakarin. This has been a great performance from him right from the off yesterday.
Yeah, he's been brilliant. He's been right up there with in the mix. It's Yuki Kuni now. I think maybe they're just trying to find a bit more setup, a bit more data for the race later. Oh, look at that aggression there from Yuki. SDG really sets the bike up well for him.
Yeah, and they will have a strategy as well. It's such an experienced team, and so prominent in the All Japan series as well. There's Zakwan, currently P5.
Zakwan's quite a distance away right now at 1.1. It's not what we expected from Zakwan. I think he's just struggling to adapt a bit, because he did mention that the bike is the chassis is a bit softer in the way it moves around. So they will have to work hard to try and get the bike set up right.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll do it, and he looks more comfortable on that bike than he looked on the 2022 machine that he ran for 2 seasons.
Definitely.
So we always expect Honda to be sweet handling, and that last one wasn't. It was a bit of a monster, and Zakwan always looked really tired every time he got off it. But, JDT and Hafiz must be pleased with progress so far. Let's come back with Yuki Kuni. This is not going to be a lap that will change his position, I don't think.
Yeah, he's coming back into
he's coming back in.
So 14 minutes left in qualifying.
Yeah, and almost everybody's in the pits.
I think the only riders who haven't slapped on the qualifiers is Lakan, Soichiro, Pasowit. I don't think we saw him in qualifying as Kasma, Yuki, and Marcus. The top 5, though, all of them have used the qualifying compound.
Yep, so we can hope to see some order changes. And Yuki Kuni should be one of the riders to do it on the front 2 rows. So Hush descends once again on Chang International Circuit. We're just an hour away from the first race of 2024. Exactly an hour away from the first race, which will be the TBS Asia One Make Championship. 5 races this afternoon. And new for this season, we have fuel partner Indian Oil, our official fuel partner, not only for this year but for 3 years. So really good to have that long-term relationship established with Indian Oil as an innovator in fuels, and to have a control fuel supplier across all 5 classes.
Here's Zakwan Zaidi now. He's getting ready to go out. That should be the qualification.
No, it's not.
So Zakwan did come on the qualifiers on the previous outing then. Didn't get a good look at him, did we?
No, he didn't.
Because there'd be no way that if he still has to use it, there'd be no way he's coming out now on mediums with 12 minutes left.
No, that's right. So, yeah, perhaps he has done it, but let's see what he can do. I'm sure to Zakwan anyway, getting the right race setup is going to be the priority.
Yeah, because they still need more data on the bike. It's a fresh bike for them, so they need to collect as much information as they can.
Now then, Marcus Reiterberger. Yeah, he's on a qualifier. Hard front, qualifying rear.
That green really works well with the 1XX colors.
It does. It does. And there's the head of Dunlop, Kobayashi-san. Just taking a look down pit lane at this crucial point in the ASB1 qualifying session. And this rider is set to shake things up at the top. But we've already seen the pole record broken by Nakarin.
It's a brilliant lap from Nakarin. So now we look over to speedy Malaysian Zakwan Zaidi. It's a learning weekend for Zakwan and the team.
Yeah, there's a lot of changes in a lot of the teams, but having a brand new bike, that's a big one.
Credits to Honda as well. I mean, every year they've brought in a pretty much new bike, and they've given the riders as much improvement as they could receive. And it speaks in the results. They've got Nakarin and Andy, both of them at the top. Zakwan, we know that he can do it, but it's just he's still fighting his setup. Top job from Honda.
Yep, absolutely. And yeah, the other bike only ran for 2 seasons. They were listening to the feedback from riders. Other championships, the evidence was that they could make improvements. And here's a nice shot of the Ducati. So medium front and soft rear for this session.
Different setup again. They started with a hard front, soft rear. Qualifying was on a hard front, soft rear. Qualifying tire was qualifying rear and medium front, and now it's medium front and soft rear. So this will be interesting. Let's see what Hafiz does on the normal compounds.
Yeah, I think the official recommendations from Dunlop are to run mediums.
Yeah, it was medium. I think that was mentioned.
Yeah.
That's what Zakwan has on now. Credit to Dunlop as well. They've improved the tire every time, and this time around we really haven't heard anyone complaining about a lack of grip or the tire is not lasting a full race distance.
No, that's right. They are continuously developing, and it's a really good job from Dunlop, and also they're tightening up the feedback loop from the teams as well. They're making recommendations for tire pressures as well.
Yeah. Right now, Hafiz Sharin, for those wondering how about the Ducati top speeds, 305.1 kilometers per hour. That's the fastest we clocked this weekend. The two Hondas, 301, 302 kilometers per hour. The BMWs of Aslan and Marcus, 290, close to 300. Yuki as well, matching close to Andy. The Yamahas, however, they're loitering around the lower 290s. Soichiro, though, he's managed a 295.9, Kazma 291.1 kph.
Yeah. So yeah, you can see speed deficit for Kazma's Yamaha, unfortunately, but right at the top is 305.1. I can't remember seeing a faster time than that here from Superbikes in ARRC.
Fastest clocked previously was Zakwan on the Hondas in 2022, I believe it was, and then now we have Ducati horsepower in the play. Hafiz Sharin 305.1 kilometers per hour.
Yeah, Marcus looking at good pace, but you might have expected him to have been a bit quicker through the first sector.
Sharin on his flying lap now.
Yeah, there it is again, sliding on the turn entry, picking it up nice and early.
It's a very different line that Hafiz is taking, and I think that's what's working with the Ducati. Just that sort of a V-shaped apex that he takes, almost a double apex, whereas you see like the BMWs and the Hondas, they'll make it a bit more rounded. Honestly, this section here, this is where Hafiz looks the most comfortable to me. Just around the flowy bits, it looks like that Ducati works with him really well.
Yeah, and they're still experimenting with the tyre combination, so it'll be really interesting to see what they settle for in a few hours' time for race 1.
See the front of the Ducati just squatting there as Hafiz breaks into the last turn. It's a very tidy line into the last turn for Hafiz there.
Yeah, that is tidy, and if you roll back just to this time yesterday or yesterday morning, he was looking quite untidy in turn 12. So huge improvements have been made. Nakarin's not done yet. He's on provisional pole, but he knows there are 1 or 2 threats out there.
Yeah, Marcus is backed off on the qualifying compounds.
Yuki Kuni was slow through sector 1, but very fast through sector 2. What's he going to clock this time? Oh, he's jumped up to P4 with a 134.8. So we've got the top 5 in the 134s.
What a difference from last year.
Yeah, it was 134.9 for the pole. He was the only one. And here is Kazma Daniel. See what he did through sector 3.
136.3 for Kasma, not an improvement. So Kasma will have to hope for this flying lap now. Soichiro has improved to 135.946 but remains in 10th. See Soichiro and Kasma working in tandem there.
Yeah, Soichiro's top speed showing slightly higher, but it's a between 10 and 14 kilometers an hour deficit on the straights to the fastest bike there, the JDT Ducati.
So Kasma and Soichiro improving again through sector 1, but it's nowhere near where the top 5s were timing themselves. For example, Azan's fastest sector 1 in this session was a 19.7. Kasma and Soichiro 20.0 and 19.8. So that's actually one of the highest speed sectors for this circuit.
Yeah, Marcus P6 and in the pits.
Sako's on a decent one. He's gone fast through sector 1.
We didn't see his sector 2 time there, but I guess that will come through at some point.
So right now Nakarin's just come out of pit lane. After Sharin's still lapping around. So he's gone across sector 1. Soichiro goes up into 8, so Soichiro improves into a 35.575, while Kasma has made a mistake somewhere. He's much slower in sector 2 and sector 3, so Kasma remains in 10th, and I think Kasma was on qualifiers, so that might be the end of qualifying for Kasma Daniel.
Yeah, you're right. We'll be back with Zakwan here. Mostly crossed up on the corner entry to turn 12. So I don't think there are going to be any late surprises here. Marcus in the pits, Aslan in the pits, and nobody on a really fast lap. 2 minutes remaining. So here's the provisional pole sitter having a short final stint. That was his out lap. So he's got time for 2 flyers if he wants them. But I do suspect that this will be race setup checking, running mediums.
Yeah, so there's Kasma there. We can completely understand why he's not too happy with that. It's difficult with that much of a speed deficit on a track like this, where really there's a lot of areas where top speed counts. It's tough.
Yeah, Marcus is going to go out for perhaps they've just made 1 or 2 adjustments just to check, but he won't get a flying lap in. So it's looking good for the class rookie. The rider on your screen here, Nakarin Tirapuvapat. So competitive for 2 seasons, the Super Sport 600, and now super competitive. Opening round for him so far. So 29 seconds left, so he's got this lap to make sure everything is in good working order for this afternoon. Soft rear, medium front, soft rear.
Nakarin on the previous lap did a 35.8, and Anifard almost slightly faster, 135.8 as well.
Yeah, He likes that V-shaped approach to turn through as well, doesn't he?
Definitely trying to benefit with speed and power there. Sharin looks like he's going to head back into pit lane.
Nothing going to upset the order, I don't think. Here, Daniel. Checkered flag is out now. I'm not sure if Hafiz will come into pit lane or trundle around again. No, come into pit lane. So it looks as though we'll be seeing JDT Ducati in the accomplished hands of Hafiz Sharin, starting from the front row this afternoon. And I wonder what tyres they'll use.
Yeah, we've seen so many different combinations from JDT and Hafiz. But the most important thing for them right now is they have qualified on the front row in the debut weekend for the JDT racing team. And top speed has shown as well for them.
Yeah, that was a good quick lap there from Nakarin. That was a 1:35.3. That was a good race pace lap. Just team look on. You can see the cooperation between teams there. There's the team manager from Thai Honda Racing in the Showa pit. Sorry, in the Honda Asia Dream Racing pit. And there are the results. So a killer lap of 1:34.287 was good enough to put Nakarin Tiraphuvapat, debutant in ASB 1000 for Honda Asia Dream Racing with Astemo, on pole position for this afternoon's race 1. Next to him, his teammate Andy Farid Izdihar. Outside of him, the JDT Racing Ducati of Hafiz Sharin Abdullah. Yuki Kuni will lead the second row for SDG Team Hark Pro. Aslan Shah will be next to him, and outside of him, his teammate Marcus Reiterberger, the defending champion. Zakwan Zaidi will start from 7th. 8th, Soichiro Minamoto for Yamaha Technic Racing Team Asia. And 9th, we didn't see too much of him on the screens this time around, but Pasawit Titivararak for Astemo S1 Racing with Thai Honda will start 9th. Kazma Daniel will start from 10th for Yamaha Technic Racing Team Asia. Lachlan Epis for Evolution Sports will start 11th. His best lap was a 1:36.4. Osama Murray for Victor Racing will start 12th. And Chiao Yu Zhou for Savitar ESG Team Asia will start 13th in race 1 this afternoon. So plenty of drama there. Nakarin really getting to grips with that 2024 Honda quickly, as did Andy Farid. And Hafiz Sharin, who missed the pre-season test, showing that he and the JDT team have got that Ducati in pretty good working order after just a day of testing and free practice yesterday. Looking down, there's a couple of surprises. 2022 champion Zakwan Zaidi starting from 7th, and 2023 champion Marcus Reiterberger starting from 6th. 2019 champion, which was the previous year, because of COVID of course, Aslan will start 5th. But a decent debut on the Yamaha for Soichiro Minamoto, despite the speed deficit being handled by the Yamahas. But let's take another look at the qualifying for ASB 1000. Aslan Shah was out and meaning business very early in the session. He was the first rider to really show his hand, as we saw him do yesterday in free practice 1 and 2. He went out early, banged in some fast times, and then took a break. As he told Daniel yesterday, he's only got one engine this weekend, So he's saving it as much as he can for the race. Just behind him is Nakarin Atirapuvapat, who's been looking really fast, really determined, really confident for the first time on this 2024 Honda CBR 1000 Triple R. There was Aslan having set an early fastest time, taking a break. And there we just saw Hafiz Shirin slice past Zakwan Zaidi as he continued to improve. He was out on qualifiers, pushed himself into the 134s. He was in the 136s yesterday. But this was a very decent lap from the new rider and new team to this championship. Put himself into third, where indeed he would stay. Yuki Kuni for SDG Hark Pro. Worked hard through this session, did more laps than any other rider. And ended up with the best time of 134.8. Indeed, there were 5 riders in the 134s. Last time we were here in December, there was only 1. So great conditions here. The new Dunlop tyres working well. Different combination there for Andy Farid Izdihar. Tyre combination. This last stint for Marcus Reiterberger, we had some expectations that he would move himself up and onto the front row, but it wasn't to be. And then Nakarin, having sat in the pits after banking that incredible 134.2, came out to check his race setup, putting in a really good race pace, 135.3, to take pole position this afternoon for race 1. So Nakarin, class rookie, starts from pole. Next to him was the rider on pole last time we were here at Chang International, Andy Farid Izdihar, and Hafiz Shirin on the outside. So this afternoon we will be back with you at 12:35 local time for the first of 5 races, which will be the TVS Asia 1 make. As well as Daniel and myself, we will be joined by Des Corkhill, he of the Tingling Tones, to entertain you this afternoon. So don't miss that. Check the TV stations to see wherever you are, where you can watch the racing this afternoon, or stay with us on live stream. We're just waiting for Daniel to catch up with Nakarin in Parc Fermé, and I think we've got him right now.
So we're down here at Parc Fermé after a real eventful qualifying session. Nakarin, you smashed the timing, and honestly, you're a rookie in this category, but we know you're familiar with 1000cc bikes. How has it been out there this weekend?
Yeah, unbelievable. I didn't know I can make 34. Just my target 34 high. But when I change rear tire, it's qualified tire, I feel really super good and confident in the exit. In the last lap, I catch Marcus. I think it's this lap not so good lap, but I see on my my bike lap times big improve. Fantastic, and thank you to the team to make a perfect bike.
Thank you so much, Nakarin. Congratulations and good luck for the race later.
Great stuff from Nakarin. New rider in the class, new rider in the Honda Asia Dream Racing Garage. We are going to take a break now for lunch. We've concluded qualifying. Plenty of action this morning, and there will be even hotter action this afternoon when we get down to racing. First race comes up in 35 minutes time, so we're going to take a 30-minute break. And when we come back, it will be the TVS Asia One-Make Championship. And alongside me and Daniel this afternoon will be Des Corkill, who is somewhere in the building. So we look forward to listening to Des, the voice of ARRC. So stay with us. This is round one, and you're about to see the race one for round one of the FM Asia Road Racing Championship from Chang International Circuit. We'll see you in 30 minutes.
IDEMITSU engine oils are precisely formulated for meticulously engineered Japanese car engines. We are committed to delivering optimal performance. We fulfill this commitment through 5 ultra-protective benefits known as Quintec Guard. They unleash the peak performance of treasured cars. Drive anywhere with confidence. Feel the excitement in your heart. The highest quality engine oils in the history of IDEMITSU.